Welcome back. Fraudulent theft has seen an exponential rise in the past 5 years, with losses reaching over $10 billion in 2023, which is a significant leap from $2.4 billion in 2019, according to the Federal Trade Commission. A new study from AARP highlights consumers' primary concerns are becoming victims of fraud and the inability to recover their stolen funds. Joining us now is the Director of Fraud Prevention Programs at AARP Fraud Watch Network, Kathy Stokes. Kathy, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Now, can you share insights from the latest AARP fraud survey?
Yeah, the survey certainly reflects what we're seeing in terms of the rise in reported fraud. And I make the point that it's reported because the Federal Trade Commission can only tell you what it knows. And fraud is severely underreported. But if you just look at that as a trend between 2019 and 2023, the increase is over 300%. And we see that in our survey. We estimate, based on the survey results, that about 42% of U.S. adults have experienced some form of fraud, whether it's financial loss or sensitive information, and that's 141 million people. So to say this is a crisis is a bit of an understatement.
Now, how has fraud evolved over the last 5 years?
Well, before the pandemic, there was a lot of scams, a lot of fraud happening, but when we all had to go online for everything we were doing, they followed us and they, souped up some of their skills. And now, just in the last year, with the advancements in generative artificial intelligence, they can take these scams and scale them and affect so many more people.
Now, as you mentioned, AI and so many other forms of or ways to scam people have become more prevalent. Can you just talk about the need or the crucial impact for individuals to use distinct passwords across all of their accounts?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest deficits we have. And, we can't blame ourselves. It's really hard to have a password and that's unique, and strong for every single online account that we have. But if we don't have that and the criminal gets a hold of one of them, they're going to crack into all of our accounts. And that could mean just accessing and wiping out financial accounts. It could mean using your social media accounts or your email to deceive people that you know and love. So it's hard, but we have to do it. Someday we're going to be past passwords, but until we are, where you have the opportunity, use a biometric. I know with my banking apps, I can use my face to open those accounts. You can use a thumbprint in some of them. And establish multi-factor authentication. It's that extra code that you can get sent to you or that maybe generates off of an app that you have. It's just that one more level of security so that the account that you're accessing, they kind of know it's you.
Now, could you highlight some common scams that people should be aware of? And I know today there are so many, so I know you can't go through all of them, but what are some of the most prevalent?
Yeah, I think one of the most concerning, because the losses are so profound, is bank impersonation scams. We all are probably used to getting that text to confirm whether or not a transaction actually occurred from our bank. And in this case, you get the message, and it's from your bank, or so it seems, and it says Y for yes, N for no, and you react like, oh my God, that wasn't me, N. But as soon as you do that, the phone rings. And it's ostensibly the bank that just texted you saying there is an active hacker in your account and we've just caught it, but we have to help you secure the rest of your assets, and we're going to help you do that. And this could be like an hours-long, stressful process where they help you set up a new account, or they help you use Zelle to move money from one account into supposedly a new account. It happens in a lot of different ways, but the bottom line is it's an impersonation, because you'll call your bank afterwards to say, okay, I need access to my new account, and they'll be like, what are you talking about? We didn't set up a new account for you. And it's devastating because all of that money is gone and very likely unrecoverable.
Now, we understand that changing our passwords could help with this, but what are some additional tips you have for people, or what are some other ways people can keep their money, their identity, all of those things safe from scammers?
Yeah, it's really important. For example, on social media, look up your privacy settings and make sure that they are soundly closed so that the only people that can access your account are the people that you know and love that are part of your friend and family community. Another thing on social media is a lot of people end up with their social media accounts getting hacked and then sending messages to that community of friends and family, pretending that it's me and I just won $1,000 in this, or earned $1,000 from a grant, and you can too. These kind of things. So always be wary of those messages. We cannot trust links in text messages or email messages anymore. If you get an email or a text from a company you do business with or your bank, don't respond by clicking the link or calling the number. Go to the path you know to be valid to contact them.
Now, if someone suspects they've been targeted by a scam or fraud, what are some immediate steps they should take to safeguard their finances and personal information?
Yes, so if you believe that you have been targeted and you've lost money to the scam, it's really important to do two things. One is if it involves your bank account, get in touch with your bank account and your bank and see what they can do to maybe stop all of the money from flowing out. There's a chance they can do that. If someone convinced you to purchase a gift card and share the numbers off the back and you realize it was fraud, call the number on the back of that card. They might be able to get some of those assets from leaving that card. If you've lost money, call the police, file a police report. We need to be doing this more so we understand nationally what a crisis this is, but also if there's a means of restitution that happens down the road, you're going to want that police report to prove that it happened to you.
Now, the AARP Fraud Watch Network provides valuable resources and a helpline for those affected by scams. Can you tell us more about how this network assists victims and what services are available?
Yeah, absolutely. Our Fraud Watch Network helpline has several hundred trained staff and fraud fighter volunteers that can talk to people who just want to report a scam, and we share that data with the federal government, the Federal Trade Commission. If you've experienced a fraud, if somebody you know and love has experienced a fraud, they can walk you through what happened, help you report it, and it's a judgment-free zone. And you don't have to be of a certain age because we recognize it's not just an older adult's issue. This happens to everybody of any age, of any educational attainment, and they need help. And so our helpline is 877-908-3360.
And, I'm so glad and grateful that you pointed that out because for a very long time, many people associated being scammed with an older demographic. But as we've noticed today, that it's affecting everyone of all ages. So it's so important that these resources are available, for anybody who needs them. So I just want to thank you so much for, educating our community on this very serious topic.
Well, thank you for educating your community because this is what it's going to take.
For more information, you can visit the website at aarp.org/fraudwatchnetwork. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Open right after this.